Hi, this is Luca from Mosalingua. I would like to say Kalimera because today I'm here, I just arrived here in Thessaloniki, Greece, to attend the Polyglot Conference. So I'm very close to the venue where the event takes place. I'll meet some extremely successful polyglots and I'll have the occasion to ask the following question. How do you get started when you want to learn a new language? So, what are your first personal steps?
The very first thing I want to do is to listen to the language and to listen to as much of the language as possible. So I would go on YouTube and iTunes and look for podcasts where I can download audio extracts that I can really listen to. I'd listen to these for quite a long time, see what I can learn, see what I can pick up, just to get used to the sound of the language. After that, I'm going to want to find myself a course, and I'm going to want to stick with this course for quite a while. So probably I'll look for a course which takes me to an intermediate level, like a teach yourself, colloquial, or anything like that. And I'll work with that for about 3 months, following all of the instructions. You really have to trust the methodology of these books and these courses because they will work and they know what they're doing. After you pass that 3-month period of kind of approaching it from all sides, once you've got to a level where you're starting to feel slightly more comfortable and slightly more enthusiastic and optimistic about how it's going to go in the language, you've got a bit more freedom to do some more experimental stuff. But for me, there's always that very crucial 3-month period where you're getting used to the language, getting used to reading it, learning basic words, and making sure that this is the language for you that you want to stick to.
The first thing when I decide to learn a new language, I think to myself, do I really want to learn this language? Otherwise, I will give up during the process. This has happened many times. And so generally, I ask myself, will this language be useful in my life? Do I really need it? Do I have any connection with people or with anything else? So the first step is that to determine that this language will really be useful in my life. After that, I have to select the material that I'm going to use. Usually, I use audio material like Pamsler or Michelle Thomas. And my favorite pocket book that I take everywhere is this book. It is very useful because I can start from nothing and I can have the basics. Like this one is Greek, in Greek, so say Yasu, Anvio, Parakalo, Haristo, Helpis, Voidia. And so I start with the basics and then I go to a thin book that teaches me the basic, and then I go further. I take other materials like Assimil or Colloquial. And in this meanwhile, I love using apps. There are a lot of apps for flashcards, and so I use a lot of apps like Mosalingua, like Duolingo. There's and paper flashcards too. I love paper flashcards. I have never stopped using them. So basically, it's that.
This is Connor. I have a blog called Language Czar, and recently I've been documenting on the blog and on the blog learning Ukrainian, because I started learning Ukrainian a few weeks ago. So the first thing I did is I went to actually the Wikipedia page and I looked up the Ukrainian language, and what I was looking for were connections with languages that I already speak. So I speak a cognate language. That means language comes to the same language family. That's Russian. So I knew that from reading Wikipedia entry, vocabulary is actually quite different, but the grammatical structure is pretty similar. So I knew already I don't need to focus too much on the grammar, but I'm definitely going to have to, focus on learning very basic vocabulary in the beginning. So what I did, and I outlined this on my blog, is I developed a strategy and I looked at first pronunciation, right? What are the differences in the sounds? What are particular sounds that might be different for a native English speaker, because that's English my first language. I also then looked at building up my vocabulary through interactions with native speakers and also reading materials. and I looked at several software programs that I either like to use when I'm learning languages, or there were new ones that I wanted to test out. So that's how I approach it. I also looked at opportunities I'm going to get to practice the language. So I actually went and I actually stayed in Ukraine for a few weeks, and I attended language school there. So that's how I kick-started everything with Ukrainian in particular.
So I'm back after this amazing weekend. That's all for this video. To get more hacks, tips and language expert interviews, subscribe to our channel right away. You can also get our free ebook revealing the 7 secret tools used by polyglots to learn a language. You can get it clicking here. Thank you very much for your attention and see you in the next video.